Family, what's going on? Uh, Thank you all for your patience and your consistency of looking out for me and being there. Nick, bring me in a little bit more. Um, as we figure this out, the last couple of days has been a challenge, but we're here. Uh, I'm just going to chalk this up to somebody needed to hear this, and the enemy didn't want you to have it, but you're going to get it anyway. That was evident yesterday. I got a very beautiful, well, a couple of messages about how yesterday's teaching, for those who was able to fight through it and even go to IG to get it, had a couple of instances where people saying it was almost like I was having a one-on-one conversation with them personally, which is very encouraging. So just tip me up a little higher. So I am encouraged. Let's go ahead and go. Let's go ahead and go. I know we're late, and I know I'm trying to bring myself back to a woosah. Woosah. Get focused, Danielson, on teaching. Happy Tuesday to everybody. This is Morning Momentum. Listen, share it, tag somebody, let everybody know that we are on. Those of you who are normally watching on YouTube, I think we're Facebook only today, and of course IG is up live. So still don't have all three options, but yesterday we were just IG only. So we're back at Facebook and IG. So 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3, and we're gonna keep a smile on our face, and we're gonna keep going. So I want you to let's do this roll call right quick. Do this roll call. I don't have my top 5, so I'm just gonna do it like I see it. Valerie Benjamin, thank you so much. Linda McCree, thank you so much. Kawana Bigelow, thank you. Good morning to you. Lisa Taylor Corponing, good morning. Joy Miller, good morning to you. Lady Ernestine Long, good morning. Lynette, I guess that's Bladies, good morning to you, or B Ladies, I don't know. So excuse me if I mispronounced that. Christina Lewis, good morning to you. Teresa McCoy, good morning. Sherelle Meredith, good morning. Latoya Wilson, good morning. Tiffany Howe, good morning. Stephanie Austin, good morning. Renee Steele, good morning. Tina Dry, good morning. Trinice, good morning. Good morning, good morning. All right. So I know I probably lost some with the time. Hopefully we can get those back. But we're going to love on y'all. IG, good morning to you guys out there. I see. What's that? Miss Gop 38. Good morning. Tosh Renee. Good morning. K Lips. Good morning. Val. Good morning over there too. Two Twin Blitz. Good morning. Stephanie Roebuck. Good morning. Anthea. Good morning. Supergirl 76, good morning. Joy, good morning, here as well. Jamal, good morning. Bo Mac, good morning. We almost there, family. We almost there. Oh, this is Gwen. Hey, Gwen, good morning. All right, I got that now. All right. All right, let's go. Father, give us a space, give us capacity to receive what it is you are saying to us today. We bless you and give you praise. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So yesterday, I don't know how many of you were able to go and really get with us. I know the sound for YouTube and Facebook wasn't. For those of you who didn't have Instagram accessibility, I hope you was able to go back and get that after I shared it. But anyway, we were talking about, of course, we're in our Healthy Living series. We are in our Healthy Living series. And foundation text, we've been saying it every day. Luke 2:52, and Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and all the people. He grew in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and all the people. So we've been talking about getting healthy. We've been talking about getting healthy, not just physically, that is important too, but we want to get healthy physically, mentally, emotionally, personally, cognitively. All of that is important. It means being in good condition. It means being back to a normal, natural, desirable state. It means having the satisfactory size or amount of something. It is a state of being robust again, sound, well, and wholesome in a particular area. And so that's what we are talking about. And that's what we're discussing. And I believe God wants us healthy mind, body, soul, like I just said, spirit, relationships, pursuits. That's very key, and that's very important. And so I was talking about that I believe there were three areas. There's three areas or three components that are key to a healthy, fulfilled life. There are three components that are key, or that is very important to a healthy, fulfilled life. And we dealt with that. First one was finding balance. Spent several days on balance. And then we spent some time talking about our achievements, making sure that we're fulfilled in that area of our life, being able to see some accomplishments, some wins, move the needle, see some things happen, see some things work, and how that is very effective to your well-being. But yesterday we talked about something that I know I deal with a lot. And you may have heard me say it over the last couple of years that we've been doing this platform of coaching. And that is simply this. We've been talking about growth. I think growth is that third component. Growth is that third component that kind of makes sure that our life is always receiving fulfillment. And growth can allow fulfillment to show up in our lives in many different facets. Growth can cause us to have more achievements. Growth can cause us to have more emotional stability. Growth can cause us to feel confident and better about who we are and where we're going. It can show up in so many different ways. And that's why it's extremely important that we live a life where we give ourselves growth opportunities. It's very important that we live a life that we give ourselves growth opportunities and make sure that we do not allow ourselves to get stuck in time, stuck in a way, stuck in a routine, stuck in an identity. And some of you may be shocked by that word, stuck in an identity. Yeah. Well, that's just who I am. Yeah, that could be who you were, but who you are have to evolve. Man, I'm talking good already. Who I am has to evolve. And I cannot allow myself to get stuck in this identity of who I've always been, but who I am has to be a result of where I've come through, and what I've come through. Have you heard this saying, reinventing yourself? And I believe in our lifetime, we have to go probably through about 5 of those, or maybe more, of seasons where we got to say, okay, it's time for me to reinvent myself. It's time for me to refresh and reboot who I am and what I know and how I present myself. And that when we do that, what we do is we collect all the stuff we've learned from a season, and we learn how to display it and convey it in how we live in this next season. It affects how we think. It affects how we move. It affects how we talk. It affects what we go after. It affects how we present ourselves, because we have a deeper knowledge and revelation about not only us, but about the world around us. And that only comes through growth. Val, you keep throwing that around. That word is sticking in this house. I've been hearing it since Sunday. We built different. You got to know you built different. You got to know, not only, here it is, Val, and those who listen, not only are we built different, we're continuing to be built different. Because although God has built us in a way, he's still building us in a way. And so I want us to understand. So the next few days we're going to talk about growth. We're going to break growth down. And yesterday I talked about, I introduced the importance for growth and having a growth mindset, and not, and not a fixed mindset. And so if you need to hear a little bit more about that, you go back and watch that replay. But then I said something. I said, there's going to be two things that's happening in your life at all times. There are going to be things that you're growing out of, and there's going to be things or situations or environments that you got to grow into. I think that's very key that you get that. Some stuff I'm growing out of, and some stuff I'm growing into. When I grow out of some stuff, it's really as simple as this. I don't fit anymore. It's like you grow out of clothes and shoes, and as much as you like it and as much as you still love it, and some of us got suits and clothes and shoes still in our closet because we want to look at it and dream about getting it in it again because we just loved it so much. It was one of our favorites. But the reality is it can't experience who you are anymore because you don't fit it. And there's some situations that we're still hanging on to or looking at that we still love. But the reality is it still don't fit us. It don't fit who you've become. It doesn't fit what God is doing in your life. Your mind is bigger, is more advanced and vast. Your intellect is at another level. Your heart posture is at another level. And where I used to spend my time at, it just don't fit me any longer. So there's some situations where we got to grow out of. But then there's some things, some people, some environments that we just got to grow into. Which means when you come into it, you may feel like it's too big, it's overwhelming. I don't know it here. I don't like it here. I feel out of place here. I don't understand it here. The environment is so different and so big. It feels like you've been placed out of place. No, you ain't out of place. God said, no, I'm just giving you room for what you need to know to be expanded. I'm putting you around people with expanded knowledge so they can expand your knowledge. I'm putting you around situations who has a different dispensation about them so I can expand your dispensation. I'm putting you in areas where people are already living on that lifestyle that you're trying to stretch yourself to live. And you got to be exposed to something that may look like you're in deep water, but no, it's just God teaching you how to swim in different ponds. Are y'all still here? And so sometimes he has to let us grow out of stuff, but sometimes we got to grow into stuff. Right? So we talked about growth being the process of developing or maturing physically, mentally, and spiritually. It means to increase in amount, value, or importance. It means to develop maturation, germination, the blooming of a thing, the flourishing of a thing, the thriving of a thing. And I need you to understand this. We are expected to grow. We're expected to grow. There is no success without growth. And I said this yesterday, growth is the formula for better. Growth is the absolute formula for better. So I need you to get this. To grow as a person means to mature, improve, and expand your life in some kind of way, right? And so there were 3 areas. Remember 3 areas I talked about that we grow in physically, not just physical stature, but physically in our makeup, who we are as a person, right? And our skill set, cognitively, intellectually, as well as growth mentally, emotionally, as well as growth spiritually. So there's 3 areas. In the next 3 days, I want to deal with those different areas. Your cognitive intelligence, um, getting intel about you and the life around you, social intelligence. It's got to have growth there. Then I want to talk about emotional and mental growth. Then I want to talk about spiritual growth. So those 3 things I'm going to deal with for the next 3 days. For today, I want to deal with this intellectual learning. When I grow intellectually, it's basically saying learning new things. So if I grow intellectually, it's learning new things. If I grow emotionally, it means becoming more confident and secure or improving our physical and mental health. And if I grow spiritually, it means I'm becoming more aware and knowledgeable about a plan, guidance, and protection that God has established for me in my life. So growth like this helps us to get into balance and become balanced individuals who are ready to face the world with confidence. Before we get into today's concentration, I want you to understand it's so important that you grow in all 3 areas, because even if I am great at my skill, if I'm great in my cognitive and my intelligence, but my spirituality is dull and my emotional health is unbalanced, then those 2 things that are not growing will hinder the growth when I'm going after something in a career. You got a lot of talented people that people still can't work with because they're emotionally unstable, right? Or they can't handle crises because they're spiritually unbalanced. It is our spirituality. It is our faith. It is our belief in a higher calling and being and protection that comes from above and not from those things that we are in, that causes us to be still and causes us to be balanced and still positive in the middle of a crisis. And if you don't have that spiritual acumen, then whenever there's something going wrong in your career or in your family, in your home, in your personal life, or whatever, you will not be able to stand properly, because growth is a 3-fold cord. And all 3 of them have to be growing for you to essentially be healthy. I hope y'all are getting this. I hope y'all are getting this. And so if I spend too much time on one and not understand the other, I may feel like I'm on the paths of success, not knowing that my emotional state is just as important as my technical skill. My spiritual strength is just as important as my emotional stability. Like they are intertwined, that make us fit for the master's use, confident to face anything in the world. And I want y'all to get to this place. I want us to get to this place where we're confident, fit, ready to face anything in the world. So today I want to talk about intellectual growth. And I know you may if you do the definition for this, you may find it as being more cognitive, or the intellectual growth word may be used as relates to the development of a child, being able to separate thoughts and put stuff together and make things happen. And that is a piece of it, but it goes deeper than that. Even in our adulthood, even as we matriculate, I want to deal with it from the essence of this, just having intel, being intellectual, having knowledge and understanding around skills of our life that's going to really open doors for us. I'm going to say this and I'm going to keep saying this, especially spiritual people, especially believers. Too often, we are not talented enough to ask for the things that we're praying for. Whew, I know I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm scooting in dark. I'm in deep water right there. I need y'all to pray for me. Those of you who knows the words of prayer, because some of y'all are getting mad right now. What you talking about? Sometimes when we have experience and relationship with God and we are believers, sometimes we lean and trust on him to do it just because we want it, but we are really not qualified and ready when he opens those doors. Or we're not really ready for favor to hit our life. And some of us want our turn just because we hadn't had one yet, not because we have worked for it. And when I say work for it, that means I know we can't work for the opportunity, but we can do the work to be prepared if an opportunity comes. And sometimes we sit back and wait for the miracle, when sometimes we don't realize the miracle is how God could help us prepare. And we sit back and say, God gonna do it, and he promised, and it's gonna work out, and people gonna come, and this gonna be a blessing, and God's gonna help blow this up. And we have all these things that are great faith aspirations, and he can absolutely touch something, and he can whisper to people to send in your direction, and he can do all those things. But what I'm saying is, do we have the skill set to minister to those needs and help them, and to actually be professional, and to have stay in power in the doors and in the seats that he puts us in? Do we have the skill to navigate the marketplace and navigate life? Not only that, and not only that, but be honorable in a family setting or in a community, in an environment that he puts you in. Do I have the skill set to be successful there? Or am I just a spiritually led person who just puts all their marbles in God opening doors and making ways and poof, doing the work? I'm not trying to take away your faith. I'm not trying to take away your favor. I'm not taking away God's hand in a thing because it can get in and turn it in your favor. What I'm saying is, are you proficient in the area that you've been assigned to operate in? Do you have the legitimate skill for it? Are you good at it? Are you comfortable just being good at it and not really striving to be great at it? You know, we do this in our community. We think people should just support black business because it's black business. And we shouldn't lean to black business because it's a black business, but that black business got to be professional. That black business got to have a good product. That black business can't be mean. That black business can't take my business for granted. We see people on the docket. We think we ought to vote for them because they black. I've said this over and over again. We got too many black candidates in our community who just assume we're gonna get the vote, especially us as pastors. They just want our congregations and those of us with influence to just be on their side because they're of color. Well, no, you know, and sometimes we talk about other people taking us for granted, but sometimes our own people take our vote and our support and our help in whatever they're pursuing for granted. Are you good at it? Does your stuff taste good? Do you got good customer service? Do you smile? Oh Lord, I done lost somebody. I want to talk about intellectual growth, being open to, what does that mean? I want to go further than just being able to think, but having an intellectual intelligence, an intelligence about intel on things is important. Being open to new ideas, thinking critically, expanding your knowledge and skills. Y'all still with me? Exposing yourself to new ideas, exposing yourself to new people, considering updated beliefs in different areas. I know some beliefs are non-negotiables, beliefs of our faith and some other things, but your belief about things and people and society in the industry, your belief about how to handle stuff can mature if we're open to it. It means discovering more about yourself and your potential. Right? Being open to different perspectives, fostering creativity. Listen, the growth that I'm talking about, it is a growth of intelligence about you. Not only is it an intelligence about you, but it's an intelligence about the work that you are responsible for in whatever industry you're in. What has been assigned to your hand, whether it's volunteer work, whether it's a career path, whether it's whatever it is you're doing. What is it that has been tasked to you, assigned to you? And so it is an intelligence about the work that you're responsible for. And get this, it is also about intelligence about the world and the people around you. When I'm growing my skill set in this type of growth, I am not only more aware of me, but I'm more focused and I'm more concerned about the work that I produce. And I have a better understanding of how things work around me and how people are wired around me that is connected to how I move and what I'm successful at. So if you're going to have that kind of intelligence about the world around you, about the work you're responsible for, this is what we're talking about today, and this type of growth in our intellectual growth, it's going to consist of three areas, three separate skill sets. I don't have the pictures, the points up for you today. Maybe Chris, somebody can type them in the comments, or somebody out there can type them in the comments. I need a engineer on IG to type them in the comments as we go through this, and just follow along with me as much as possible. But maybe y'all just need to hear this today and take your own notes, because I believe what we're going to talk about is going to help you. I believe it's going to really help you. All right. So listen to me. First skill you got to have. And a lot of people underestimate, undervalue this. Even as people go forward, and are doing well and get better at a talent, sometimes people want our talent to be louder than my first point or the first skill, and that's called life skills. You may know them also in corporate America as soft skills. Life skills and soft skills are so important. In some instances, life skills or soft skills is more important than your technical skill, and there's really proof to back that up. I knew that kind of going through interviews when I was working in the marketplace in the corporate setting. I used to say this all the time, and I did not say this bragging, and then please don't think it's arrogance when I say this. But if you understand and kind of get the gist of what I'm saying today, you probably can be able to say that one day too. I used to say all the time, I used to say confidently, I don't care what the job is. I don't care where the job is at. If you put me in front of somebody and they interview me, I'm going to get offered that job. And I'm saying like this, I've never been on the interview. Now, I didn't take all the jobs that I was offered, but I've never been on a face-to-face. Now, that's one thing if my resume wasn't chosen. Now, there have been some times where I applied for something, and they looked at it on paper, and they maybe said, well, I didn't have the experience, and I didn't have the education they wanted, and they went on to another application. That has happened, where I did not get an interview when I was in corporate America. But if I ever got a face-to-face interview, if you put me in front of somebody and they tell me to sell myself, and if they ask me to sell them on why they should hire me, oh, it's a done deal. Oh, it's a done deal. Because I know me. I know my strengths. I will do the research on what the job, it don't matter the industry. Because life skills translate. Soft skills goes from industry to industry. And if you have good soft skills or life skills, you can learn a product. And I say it all the time, the product, you give me 30 days, I'll learn your product. Because banking, even in different banks, even though we're in the same industry, different banks has different systems and processes. So systems and processes. So I may have 30 years experience in a certain software or a certain application, but I go to another company, they don't even use that application. So if I'm just listing my value based on the stuff that I've worked with, I become to no value to the new company because they don't even use what I have experience in. How do you become valuable everywhere you go? It's when you have strong life skills. Life skills translate to any industry, any company, whether it's in church, family, community, social work, corporate America. If you got good life skills, you can fit in, figure out the environment and the culture, and thrive there. And a lot of people are talented at a couple specific things, but it doesn't translate sometimes because we don't have great life skills, which causes us to not to connect with new teams. If you get me in front of somebody, I've never been in a face-to-face interview and was not offered a job. Because I know how to stay away from my weaknesses. I know how to project my positives. I know how to turn my weaknesses into positives. I know how to discern what they're looking for from an opportunity, and I know how to connect what I can bring to what they're looking for. And life skills is something you've got to work on. Listen, these are skills that people need to truly succeed, that people need to truly succeed from home to school to work to career. They encompass the ways of self-confidence. They entail or they include responsibility, being reliable, being responsible, being self-confident, having teamwork skills. There's a lot of great people. You put them by yourself, put them in the room, shut the door. They will kick out the work. Boom, 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 boom. They are rock stars. Put them on a team, they tear the whole team up. Teamwork is a skill. It is a life skill. It is a life skill to know how to lead a team, but to be a part of a team and recognize your position and know how to take your leadership ability and submit it. And come under somebody else's vision or somebody else's leadership and not be a cancer because you think you know more and you want to take lead even though you're not the lead, and you start giving confusion in the group instead of bringing synergy to the group because you don't have a skill set to cause you to be a part of good teams. When you don't have a skill in teamwork, you'll say little comments, you'll shoot somebody down. You'll try to take shots at somebody's character. You'll try to belittle them in front of the rest of the group. You'll fight for the alpha seat. You'll do stuff that is just a cancer. And sometimes people are removed not because they don't have the talent, but keeping them there was not lucrative because it was messing up the whole framework of people around them. And so they would rather get rid of one talented people than to lose a whole talented group. And sometimes people got to eliminate the cancer and cut out the bad part so that the other ones, even if they're not as talented as the one that had to go, at least they can grow as a group because they can work together. And sometimes people are so offended because they have been let go or cut away from something and they couldn't understand it because they was the most talented in the group. Yeah, you were, but you couldn't work with nobody. Lord. They encompass self-confidence, responsibility, teamwork, listen, and communication. Just to name a few, and we're going to name some more in a minute. How do you communicate? I know you're right, but can you talk to people? Can you convey what's right in a respectful way? Do you have to undermine and condescend and belittle just to express your knowledge and dominance? Oh, Lord, have mercy. Okay. Listen to this. All these skills are transferable across a career, a lifetime, a day, whatever you're doing. Listen to me. They are necessary to navigating the relationships and day-to-day decisions that determine success in our family life, in our jobs, at school, and within the community. Here's a real stat, couple real stats. 92% of employers, 92% of employers say soft skills or life skills were as or more important than technical skills. 92%. That's why I told you. You put me in front of you, I can convey life skill. And so if companies say 92% of companies say they like that over the technical skill, they'll choose a person that has strong life skills and may have lower technical skills, and they'll say, I can train them. I can train them how to do the job. They just gonna be a joy to have on my team. 92% says soft skills or life skills were more important or just as important as technical skill. Of those employers, listen to 76% of employers say that life skills are valued most, listen, and hardest to find. And they worry that shortages could impair their company's growth. That's why we got to get better. If you get better at your life skills, you're going to automatically set yourself above the crowd and set yourself up for more opportunities, promotions, advancement, and seats at tables. Here's a real stat. I'm talking to the business owner now. I'm talking to the entrepreneur who has staff, even those who communicate or have volunteers. I'm talking to pastors, those who do lead groups. I'm talking to those who are over organizations or even religious organizations or small groups. This is a real stat. There is a 256% return on investment for teaching employees or volunteers soft skills. That means even if we want to have workshops and stuff to teach them how to do the work and to be technical and do the work, we're going to get into that in a little bit, having opportunities to teach and develop people in soft skills is going to bring a rate of return of 256% to your organization or to your business. Woo. So let's talk about life skills. There are 4 quadrants of this. I need y'all to be taking notes here. There's 4 quadrants of life skills I want you to understand. There's one piece that's called positive mindset. So when I have the life skill of a positive mindset, these are the things that I get good at: resilience, self-awareness, self-confidence, self-management. When I've got a positive mindset, I can get myself back together. I can become resilient in hard times. I'm self-aware. In other words, self-awareness is not just being aware of what you can do well, but self-awareness is the real location of where you are in this season. So self-awareness can say, when you start to become aware, I'm about burnout. I need to take a break, or I need to refuel, or I'm not myself. When I become aware of myself, then I'm better equipped to help myself get out of it. But if I don't have self-awareness that's properly placed, it's going to be hard for me to find a solution or to medicate what it is that is wrong with me. So self-awareness is very different from self-confidence. Self-confidence is my ability to get me out. Self-awareness is where I need to get myself, is my understanding of where I need to get myself out of. Y'all see the difference? Self-awareness is different from self-confidence. And sometimes we try to be confident about ourselves, but not aware. So I need you to be aware, be aware about you, and have self-awareness so that your self-confidence can help you. Then it's self-management. If I am a positive mindset, then I manage myself well. I keep myself from going so negative. I keep myself out of pits because I manage my conditions. I keep myself around the right company and away from wrong company. And a lot of us are good, but we don't have good self-management. If you put you by yourself, you're not a self-starter. You don't keep yourself focused. So that goes along with a positive mindset. Those are parts of life skills that are necessary in any organization that will keep you focused in the middle of craziness. Then there's this community mindset. One of the major parts of life skill or soft skills is having the ability to think outside of the realm of yourself. So things that are included in that community mindset of my life skills is empathy. It's amazing how many people are so high and mighty and so perfectionist, and they expect so much and demand so much, but they have no empathy for people. So what else lives in there? It's responsibility. My community mindset says I got to be responsible, not because of I'm proud of my work, but there's other people counting on me to do what I said I was going to do. Cultural understanding, that's a part of community mindset. Understanding the environment I'm around, understanding the dynamics of the environment that I'm working in, so that I can make sure that I'm bringing win-win situations to my community. If I'm just doing a work or providing a service for somebody just thinking about myself, I'm not going to feel real supportive to people because they're not going to sense that I care about their needs. There's a cultural understanding, right? So let's go to the third quadrant of life skills, interpersonal skills. That's the in me skills. It's not what I'm good at outside with my hands and with my gifts and talents. It's what I'm good at inside. We just talked about that. Teamwork, communication, conflict management. That's so big. That's why I see a lot of people that are so depleted from growth. so so toddler, so baby, so small. Conflict resolution. What happens when there's a conflict? You can't ever have talented people around each other and then there never be conflict. When you have brilliant minds in the same room on the same team, there's going to be some conflict. If there's no conflict in teams, there's no passion in the team. Because all conflict is untamed passion. I hope y'all listen to this. I hope y'all listen to this. This is a master class. I'm giving you. I hope y'all listen. Y'all should be charged. I should be charging y'all for this. If you learn how to handle conflict resolution, I promise you, the quality of your career is going to go up. People are going to always want you around when you can make people get along or handle people when they can't get along and make people see eye to eye that nobody else could corral. That's a life skill. That I don't blow the whole thing up because I got angry. That I don't quit and stop meaningful, successful work because somebody said something I didn't like. That I don't destroy what was being a blessing to all of us just because we disagreed on an approach. Ooh, Lord. I need all my help right here. Y'all hear me? That's a soft skill. That will translate. It ain't about how smart you are as it relates to your skill, technical skill set. It's not about how you can do your job. It's about, do you have the ability to stick it out in a team, get through hard times, conflict resolution, and be able to communicate properly with people with respect, and to convey a vision and keep people excited and get to know people in a way where you know what's important to them, so that when you come with them with what you need, you can always insert something that's going to be important to them, so that everybody feels connected to what we're striving to do. That is a skill. And a lot of people got good ideas but don't know how to communicate it. A lot of people would love to help and do better, but they don't know how to tell you what they want. You got me? So this fourth quadrant of life skills is this. It's called higher order thinking skills. In other words, that's the skill set to take the group to the next level, or to take the work to the next level, or to always get better, or to always aspire to go further. This is a life skill that's necessary to make sure you don't get stuck in what you do good here. That there's always more to get better at, to make sure there's always advancement. So there has to be a higher order thinking. Like, I know everybody is here, but who's going to have the idea that's going to push the group to go there? Even in your own business, if it's not a group. I know you're successful what you're offering now, but what's going to be your next product? What's going to be the thing you put on sale next month that's going to drive sales? What's your new feature item that's going to be something that people are going to want and it's going to fly off the shelf? What's the higher order thinking? You can't get stuck in what you got going good now. What's going to be the next to keep people coming back to me and choosing me? So what lives in that quadrant? That's where your creativity and your innovation lives. That's where your critical thinking lives. That's where your problem solving lives. That's your ability to stay cool and calm under pressure and think of a solution. When everybody else is losing it, oh, it's over. When everybody else saying it's done, when everybody else saying, oh my God, somebody's got to sit there quietly, think, and maybe pray even. And get creative and get innovative and think of what's next. That's a life skill that translates, and everybody who is somebody wants you on their team if you have the ability to do those things. But sometimes, as I was reading them, if you're real with yourself and be real in this conversation, as I was reading them, some of us know I'm not good at that. I don't do that well. Nope. I never even thought about that being important. And you've been bitter all this time because people have been passing you by because you're good at something. You may be good physically at the job, but if you don't have these kind of skills here, sometimes it can eliminate the technical skill you do have. Are y'all here? So let's go. I know that was a lot, but I wanted to take my time there. So the first thing you need to do is relate to our intellectual growth. We need to grow in the area of life skills or soft skills, however you want to call it. We got to grow there. Your life skills got to go to another level. When your life skills go to another level, you'll expand and open your opportunity up to be way more and to have way more and to experience way more because you make yourself marketable. Number two is this. We have to, I know we compare the technical and the life skill, but number two thing you got to work on is you got to have the technical skill. So yeah, we got to be good at life skills. We also got to be good at the technical skill. And that's what I was saying earlier in our conversation. Some of us just are not good enough at it. You've been doing it too long not to be better at it. Do we practice? Do we focus? Is it enough just to know how to do it? Or do you want to be really, really proficient and become a subject matter expert at it? Technical skills are the practical abilities needed to perform tasks in a job. These skills can be learned through formal education, employment training, or programs. Take advantage of those things. Some of you, your employers offer opportunities to go learn a product or learn a software, or to go to school, get a certification, they'll take you out to a training session. They'll pay for it. And you'll be like, I want to do that. Oh, no, I learned that skill. They ain't paying me for it to do that kind of work. They know I can do more. They're going to put more on my plate. You don't understand. Even if it ain't for that company, they can never take that certification away from you. You go get those training, those certifications. That might help you in your next job. Always take advantage of learning opportunities, especially when there are opportunities that are free. If a company is going to pay you to go to school, to go to a course, to go to a training, go to a workshop, go to a retreat, it can come in the form of education, employee programs, certifications, or on-the-job training. Technical skills are often industry specific. Whatever your industry is, it is industry specific and are measurable and directly applicable to specific tasks or roles in the workplace. What is it that you're doing that you got to be good at? And do you know the latest technology or the latest version of the industry you're a part of? It's important to not only have a solid foundation of technical skills, but to keep those skills updated as technologies and processes evolve. Are you evolving with the industry that you're in? When I'm growing in my technical skill, that means I'm staying on top of relevant technical skills and competencies that as they change. And this is crucial for remaining competitive and succeeding in your industry. I want to challenge y'all in this, because we got to stop praying for stuff that we ain't prepared for. We got to get prepared for our prayers to give us a door and an opportunity. I say this, and I'm probably gonna get in trouble, but this is an example that came to my mind, and I ain't scared. You know, you got people who sometimes want opportunities to lead stuff, but they still scared to speak in front of a crowd. They want to be over stuff, but you don't want to. You don't like confrontation. When I'm gonna get my chance to sing and get a solo, but you ain't practiced the song and know all the words and don't stay on key. When I'm gonna get to preach? Well, the last time you ministered, I could tell that you was just reading off of something you got off the internet. Sometimes we can't get mad because we don't get opportunities when we know we haven't been doing the work to perfect the skill it's going to take to operate on the door or on the platform that you desire. Let me run that device. I know how to do it. They don't just give out promotions on your job. They don't give them out. Whenever for the last 5 years you never stayed overtime. I ain't staying no. I'm over there. They pay me from 5 o'clock. That's all I'm doing. Right? We got to stay on top of our technical skill. I got last one. I got 3 minutes. I'm gonna let you go. Got started 7:30, so I'm gonna let you go. The last one here, and I know this is gonna be kind of hard for some of y'all, and this has no age limit. If you're living in this age, we got to be better. We may not grow to the level of other people, but there can be some growth if you give it some attention. But our digital skills have to increase. There must be growth. And I know, let me tell you something. This is not just a technology or for the techie person. This ain't just for IT people, for the computer people. We living in a technology digital age where everything is digital. I just don't do them phones. People send me texts. I don't fool with no text. So you just ignore half the folk that was trying to bless you because most people in this age communicate by text rather than phone calls. And because you refuse to get better in the area, you'll just ignore conversation with relationships that is going to be detrimental to relationships because it comes across like you just ignored them, but you didn't even see that they even responded because you refused to look at a text. I don't do that social media stuff. I don't even got no social media account. What age are you living in? Even if you don't stay on it all day like most people flip through and go to, you've got to have the potential to do business where the world is doing business. If you're a business owner and you don't have a digital component to your business, you are setting yourself up for failure. If you got a product and I can't go online to buy it, or if I can't tap to pay, if you just still got a cash only sign in the window, if you don't do any digital marketing or digital advertising, or even invest in companies to do that for you, you might can't do it yourself, but you got to be aware of the digital side of everything if there's going to be any growth in that area. Come on, because most of the time, this is where people want to do business. And when you're still trying to avoid where the world is, you're not going to connect with the world. I need you to understand, navigating the technology of today and tomorrow Having a strong set of digital skills is non-negotiable in 2024. Is this mic on? Let me say it again. Is this mic on? Having a strong digital set of skills is non-negotiable because the digital landscape is vast and constantly changing, making it essential for you to stay up to date on the latest trends and technologies. It's just got to happen. I'm sorry. Y'all can get mad at me, but it's got to happen. Coach, I got to coach. Examples of digital skills that are important to cultivate include this. I need y'all to know this. 2024, we got to have some type of growth in our competency with social media proficiency. Got to happen. This covers both personal and business use of various social media platforms. It also includes understanding social media algorithms and leveraging them for business use. Algorithms. Our media team will tell you, we learned this. There's certain times we post. There's certain times where people are on social media and we got to know it. There's a reason why one of your posts got 300 likes and 300 views and the other one got 2,000 views. It wasn't because the content was better on one than the other. It's because you posted it in the right time and your timing was right. And sometimes we leave opportunity on the table because we haven't grown and done the research to understand how those platforms work and how to get the most out of them. And it's a question away on Google, especially with AI. What's it, chat, CBT, DBT, whatever it is. You can ask them any kind of question you want to. They'll tell you how to get it done. There's no excuse. What's the best time to post on Instagram? Just got to ask the question. You can ask Siri. If y'all deal with her, she of the devil. But Siri, what's the best time to post on Instagram? Siri, what's the best time to post on Facebook? Siri, what's the best time to post on TikTok? Siri, what's the best time to reach a demographic of young people age 15 to 21? Chat GPT. There it is. Thank you, baby. What's the best time? And it'll tell you. And we still saying, oh, I forgot to post that. Let me just put it out there. It's better if you want to post something in a day and you forget it's better to wait tomorrow during peak hours to just post it when you remember. But you don't know that if you don't grow in those areas and read and have an understanding. You just got something good and you want people to see it. But you need to make sure that you have a growth strategy so that you are maximizing your opportunity. There is a digital skill set that as a person in 2024, no matter your age, you have to have some type of cognitive ability about, even especially if you're a business entrepreneur, pastor, leader, women's ministry, men's ministry, a motivator, whatever that case may be, influencer. So social media proficiency, data analysis and interpretation, the numbers mean something. I'm learning this even in my platforms, right? What's my demographic? Who is my demographic? What do they need? Where are they coming from? Businesses are becoming more data-driven, and understanding how to analyze and interpret data using various software and tools is essential. You don't have to have my brain just don't work like that. You don't have to. There are things out there that'll do it for you. You just got to know what they are. You got to do your research on what you're looking for. You've got to go find and let somebody else or let another app or something do it. There are ways to do the technical piece, but you got to be cognizant and growing in the information and the intelligence that you need that. The next thing is this, and I'm going to say this, and I know I'm going to get in trouble, but I need y'all prayer warriors, those who know the works of prayer. Because I'm so tired of seeing people with bad ethics on digital platforms. You have to get better at remote collaboration tools. That's what I'm calling it. Remote collaboration tools, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Workplace. Slack, Trello, right? Whatever you choose. A lot of stuff, remote business, remote meetings, digital conferences, virtual stuff is becoming more prevalent. And your skills using these tools are necessary. Knowing your lighting, having you an external mic or webcam on your laptop so that your camera comes off well, so that you project a good video, having your nice backdrop, being cognizant of where you taking the Zoom call from. Got people walking behind you. I've been on a couple Zoom calls during the pandemic, real story. And this was like Christian Zoom calls with organizations. People on Zoom call, people getting out the shower behind them. And we seeing their family members in all of their glory. Camera all up. I'm looking at the bottom of your chin, or it's all high when I can only see your eyes and the top of your face. We gotta grow, guys. I don't know how to work all this technology. No, you gotta learn it, because you may have a digital meeting of Zoom with a business partner from across the country that is willing to invest millions in your business, and you gotta come across like you are a professional and you've done this before, and you're worth his investment. You don't know what or who may see you on these platforms. And I'm telling you, it's time for us to take them seriously. Okay, I'm done. But I need y'all to remember this. Digital skills are not just for tech jobs. They're increasingly required across industries. If you working from home, if you traveling, you got to be able to operate digital technology. And it's not enough just to use your cell phone and get on Zoom. It's time for you to get some Zoom equipment. Get you a ring light at least, so I won't be looking at you in the dark. As technology continues to evolve, because newsflash, we ain't going backwards. We ain't going back to the good old days. It's gone. There's a new normal. As technology continues to evolve, the need for these skills is only likely to grow. You see those things on CSI and those on those FBI little shows. FBI comes on. Man, they be putting stuff up. It be going from the phone whoop in the air, and they be like this. Things jumping off the page. You don't know where we're going. I'm telling you this. As technology continues to evolve, the need for these skills is only going to grow. And continuous learning and adaptation is key. I'm done. I'm going to say this. I'm going to let you go. It's time for you to experience intelligent growth in your personal skill set. Growth in my life skills, growth in my technical skill, and growth in my digital skill. That's going to make me a real well-rounded person in the environment God placed me. Your future is calling you. Future opportunities are calling you to figure this out, because what God has for you in the future is right now. And it's time for us to prepare for it. I'm done. That's the word for today. The fact that you're watching me, the fact that you're listening to me is a sign that God's not finished. And because he's not finished, he's going to do something special in you. He gave you new mercy because he gave you a new day. Take what he gave you and win what's in front of you. Win is win. That's who you are. So go be who you are. Do what you do. And I'll see you in the morning. Hopefully on all 3 platforms. Love y'all. Go win your day. Peace.